PRAGA, CAPUT, REGNI. I don't know what does it mean in Latin because I never learned it. What's up everybody? Welcome to the life of a board gamer. My name is Daniel and today we are going to talk about PRAGA, CAPUT, REGNI. Basically, you are in a boots of King Charles IV and you are building a city of Prague. It is already a huge city in that era, from what I gathered from this little introduction. And you know I'm bad at introducing like the story of the game. So yeah, this was the new game from Delicious Games, and as soon as I saw it, as soon as the board looks super busy, but I was automatically interested to check it out to see what it is all about. Delicious Games, as you know, they are the publisher of Underwater Cities, one of my favorite games ever played. It was designed by Vladimir Sushi, and this game also is Vladimir Sushi design. And at first, there's a lot going on. The board will look very busy to you. You will be finding yourself like overwhelmed with the information that you get from the board. But once you start playing the game, once you start going into it, you will understand how actually easy it is to play this game. First time we played this game, we played it 3 players, and we did take about an hour and a half, maybe two, with the explanations and everything. But once we knew how everything is done, we just immediately played another game, which is very rare. I don't usually play two same games in a row, but since it's a pandemic era and we did not have much to do, we decided to play another game of Praga Caput Regni, and we were mind blown how the good game was. It is just excellent how everything works in this game. And second time we played it, it was like an hour long gameplay, which was really like super fast when you think of all that is happening on the board. So basically, what happens is you have few things that you will be doing on this. This is a point salad. You will score like a bajillion points from all around different places. So first of all, there is this action wheel. You will use this action wheel to pick your action for the turn. You will play out your action. Possibly if you earn some extra stuff, some these like windows, these church windows, I think they are. If you use them, if you collect them and you use them wisely, you will get some extra turns to play that round. You will have two boards in front of you. One of them is that action board that tells you all the actions that you can do throughout the game. The other board is the board where you will be managing your resources. You will recruit schoolers and stuff like that, libraries. You will build libraries and staffing them with schoolers, which will bring you points at the end of the game. And yeah, of course, you will be building the city of Prague. With the buildings, you will be putting them on the board. You will be scoring different adjacency points through some of these markets, or how they are actually called plazas. You will be putting those buildings next to plazas, and once they are surrounded with the buildings, you will score a bunch of points if you control them. And if you control them, you know that by having the building with your cube around it. And if the building does not have a cube, it will give you some straight up points, and that is that. But otherwise, you will try to buy for position to try and influence that plaza to collect all those extra things that it gives you. And if you are the first, you will get both bonuses. If you are the second, you will only get one bonus, but you can choose which bonus you want to take. And of course, you can upgrade your actions. So if you are building a bridge, or you are building walls around your city, around your this action template that you have, you will be building cities around it, walls around it. And while you are doing that, you will be upgrading also your actions, and your actions, for example, can now bring you some extra points, or even extra stone and gold, which are the resources in these games, of course. And yeah, there's a lot going on here. There is like a rondel system around that action selection, because once you selected some of the tiles, once you selected the tile, you will spin the wheel and put it on a most expensive space. So it will take some time before it gets into play, because you don't want to play extra points. You don't want to pay extra points for those actions. You actually want to wait for those actions to get in the area where you will get points for picking those actions. That's what you are looking for, actually. So there's also a thing going on with the walls and with the cathedral. You will try and go up on those spaces, up on those tracks, and there is like a nice 3D component of it, but you can completely not use it if it blocks your view, for example, or something. You can completely remove it, and underneath there is like a 2D version of the same thing, and you will be able to easily track where you are at the moment, and you will try to go as higher as you can on both of those. And the beauty of this game is that you can't at least to me, the game looks really balanced, because you need to do a little bit of everything to win this game. You just can't go straight like, okay, I'm going to pick only blue tokens and go on the hunger wall as higher and as farthest as possible to score like bajillion points. But to get blue tokens, you need to build buildings in a city and connect them in a way, because that's the only way to get blue tokens. So if you want to go on that, and if you want to move on the wall, you have to build wall tiles around your action marker, uh, those things that where you pick your actions from. You need to build a wall around it to move on a blue track. So everything is connected. So to move on a blue track, you need to build walls, but you also need to build buildings to get tokens that will bring you points on the walls. And you understand, you see what I'm talking about? It is just a crazy amount of points all around the place, and that's something that I really enjoy in this game, because this game is, at least to me, it feels so well balanced, and it, even though it has so many moving little moving parts all around the board, everything works so simple and so smoothly. I am just I'm just blown how great everything looks. And there's also a road that you can travel on, and you can come to the bridge, the Charles Bridge, that was famously. There is a legend, at least it says here in the rulebook. There's a legend that uh, Charles wanted lots of eggs for building bridges, because yeah, back then people used eggs as a connective tissue to build bridges and stuff like that. And he ordered like an insane amount of eggs from all around the villages, and some of the villages were confused why he needs so many eggs, and they were in a fear that they will spoil until they get to them. So they pre-cooked them for him, thinking he maybe needs them for some feast or something. So they cooked them and he needed them raw. So yeah, that's a little bit of trivia in here, which I really like they included. So there's also that bridge. That bridge can bring you a bunch of points. Of course, there's also end game scoring. You can score points that way at the end of the game. You can score points by upgrading your mines, and by upgrading your gold mine and stone mine, because these are the resources that you will be using, gold and stone, most of the game. And there are some eggs and some, as I said, windows, church windows, that you can use for extra actions and to move up on the only way to move up on those tracks on the cathedral and the hunger wall is by those walls. And everything in this game combines in one huge point salad, and I'm saying that in most positive way possible. I was i was blown how great this game was. I was i was completely, it was just, what, how great is this game? Everything works, as I already mentioned. I need to mention it one more time. The way everything is connected, you have to upgrade some of your actions that you are planning to use more. That way you will be using those actions more efficiently. And you need to build, let's say, for example, I went in one game heavily on a blue token strategy to get as many blue tokens as possible, and to push that hunger wall as high as possible and as further as possible, because it matters how high you go on the wall, and uh, how many spaces on the left you go, because that's how many points will your blue tokens be worth at the end of the game. And I went heavily on that strategy, and I still lost. But what I wanted to say is, I did boost up some of my actions so I can use them with more efficiency. and then I built walls and I built buildings to collect those blue tokens, and I built walls to move left on that. Everything was so well connected, and trying to snag the right the action tile at the right moment is very, very crucial. And the game is really nicely timed. Everybody gets 16 turns to play, and then the game ends, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. And also there are buildings level 2 that around half of the game, somewhere around the half of the game, you will be setting those up, which get more expensive. They get more expensive, but they will give you a more reward than the level 1 buildings. There's also a way to change the things that you can get from the Charles Bridge. So you can flip those tiles. They are double-sided, so you can flip them and you will get some different variations. You can also involve how the road will look, different things that it will give you for fulfilling demands. And there's also on those cathedral and hunger walls, hunger wall and the cathedral, you can change layout of those, so they do. It's just insane. The game by itself, without all of these extra stuff, is insanely great, and replay value is through the roof. And they also included so much those little things that you can change up. And your action tiles, you can flip them all on a B side. On the other side, they have somewhat differently spread around those actions, and the game feels completely different playing on that side. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Praga Caput Regni. I will find out what that means in Latin, and I will write it somewhere around my head. It will float around my head somewhere. And yeah, this game, delicious game, really knows how to put out a great game. And Vladimir Sushi is going to become one of my favorite designers very soon. I like Pulsar. What is the number? Pulsar 2849. It's right there. 2849, great game, also designed by him. Underwater Cities, a fabulous game. And now Praga Caput Regni, an absolute delight of the game. Everything in this game works perfectly for me. This is definitely staying on my shelf forever. And I can't wait for any kind of expansion for it, even though if they never released any expansion, there is so much that you can change in this game with those extra stuff that they added in the box, that it is just, I don't think that you even need expansion for this game. You can play it so much times and have so many different things going on. It is just crazy. So yeah, that is that. Please do join me next time when I will be cracking some eggs and building some walls. And in the meantime, do check out my Patreon. You can have, if you decide to support my channel that way, you can have you can see some of the stuff earlier. And also do consider subscribe. And there's also affiliate link in the description down below. If you want to buy any of the games using that link, I will get some provision, and not on your expense. You will not have to pay anything more than you should have. And that is that. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, positive. In the boots of the Charles IV, the king, and let's see how he did what, how he built. Praga Caput Regni is a game where, because Delicious Games did the Underwater Cities, and David Sushi was the designer of that game too. Underwater Cities, that was designed by Vladimir Sushi, and this game is also